The house that never let them leave. The terrifying haunting of Henrietta Street, Dublin. The old streets of Dublin hide secrets beneath their worn cobblestones, but none are whispered about with more fear than Henrietta Street. During the day, tourists admire its beautiful Georgian buildings and imagine the lives of the wealthy families who once lived there. At night, however, the silence changes. Windows seem to watch those who pass below. Empty hallways echo with footsteps belonging to no living soul. Some say the houses simply creak with age. Others insist the street remembers everyone who ever suffered within its walls, and refuses to let them leave. People who have lived nearby avoid walking alone there after midnight. Taxi drivers often refuse to stop in front of certain houses. Security guards have reported hearing children laughing inside empty rooms where no one has lived for years. The stories have survived generation after generation, each witness adding another terrifying piece to the mystery. No one can prove the hauntings are real. But no one can explain them either. Rain poured heavily over Dublin as filmmaker Ryan Murphy adjusted his camera outside number 14, Henrietta Street. He had traveled from England after hearing countless ghost stories about the famous street. His YouTube audience loved haunted locations. His plan was simple. Spend one night alone. Record everything. Leave before sunrise. He laughed as he looked at the grand Georgian doorway. Just another old building, he said into the camera. If ghosts exist, tonight they'll finally have their chance. His cameraman, Liam, wasn't smiling. You sure about this? Ryan nodded confidently. It's only history. Neither of them noticed the upstairs curtain slowly move, even though every window had been locked for months. The caretaker, an elderly man named Patrick, unlocked the front door with trembling hands. You have until sunrise, he warned. Ryan smiled. Thanks. Patrick didn't return the smile. If someone knocks on your bedroom door after 2 in the morning. He paused. Don't answer. Ryan laughed. What if it's you? Patrick looked directly into his eyes. I'll already be gone. Without another word, the old man left. The heavy front door slammed shut by itself. Inside, the house felt strangely colder than outside despite the summer weather. Dust floated through beams of moonlight. The wooden staircase groaned beneath invisible weight. Old portraits stared silently from faded walls. Ryan began filming each room. The drawing room. The dining hall. The servants' quarters. Everything looked exactly as expected. Old. Quiet. Empty. Until they reached the 3rd floor. Their digital thermometer suddenly dropped from 21 degrees to 11. Liam frowned. That's impossible. Ryan checked the batteries. They were full. Then came the sound. Tiny footsteps. Running overhead. But there was no 4th floor. They rushed upstairs. Nothing. Only an empty attic. Cobwebs stretched between broken beams. Old furniture lay covered beneath dusty sheets. Ryan searched every corner. No one. As they prepared to leave, Liam noticed something carved into one wooden support. It read. We never left. The letters looked fresh. Midnight arrived. Liam refused to stay. I don't like this place. Ryan teased him. Ghost hunter scared of ghosts. Liam shook his head. This house feels. He searched for words. Alive. Ryan convinced him to remain. Just one more hour. That decision would haunt them forever. At exactly 1:13 a.m., every camera battery suddenly drained. All 3 cameras. Every spare battery. Dead. Their phones lost signal. Flashlights flickered. The silence became unbearable. Then a woman began singing. Softly. A lullaby. The voice echoed through every hallway. Ryan froze. "Do you hear that?" Liam whispered. "Please tell me that's outside." It wasn't. The singing came from upstairs. The attic door slowly opened on its own. Darkness poured down the staircase like thick smoke. Ryan switched to his backup infrared camera. The screen showed nothing unusual. Until he looked behind Liam. A woman stood silently. Tall. Wearing a faded 19th century dress. Her face hidden beneath long black hair. Ryan spun around. Nothing. He looked back at the screen. She was closer. Liam noticed Ryan's terrified expression. "What?" Ryan couldn't speak. The woman lifted one pale finger. And pointed toward the basement. Then she disappeared. Ryan lowered the camera. Nothing remained. Only silence. Curiosity defeated fear. Against every instinct, they walked downstairs. The basement smelled of damp stone and old ashes. Their footsteps echoed through endless darkness. Then Liam found another carving. This one older. It read. "Listen to the walls." Ryan placed his ear against cold brick. At first. Nothing. Then. Crying. Hundreds of voices. Men. Women. Children. All whispering together. "Help us." The whispers grew louder. "We're still here." Ryan staggered backward. His face turned white. The voices hadn't come from behind the wall. They had come from inside it. Suddenly every basement light exploded. Darkness swallowed them. Only Ryan's infrared camera remained. The screen filled with static. Then an image appeared. Dozens of people stood silently in the basement. Victorian clothing. Thin faces. Sunken eyes. Every one of them stared directly into the camera. None of them blinked. Ryan looked up. The basement was empty. He looked back at the screen. They had moved closer. One little girl stepped forward. She couldn't have been older than 8. She held an old wooden doll. Its head was missing. The child smiled. Then asked. "Have you come to replace us?" The audio recorder captured her voice perfectly. Ryan heard nothing in real life. Only through the headphones. Liam grabbed Ryan's shoulder. "We're leaving." They rushed toward the stairs. The basement door slammed shut. Ryan pulled desperately. Locked. No key. No handle. Only smooth wood. As if the door had never existed. The whispering surrounded them again. This time louder. "No one leaves. No one leaves. No one leaves." The temperature fell below freezing. Their breath filled the air. Invisible footsteps circled around them. Something touched Ryan's neck. Ice cold. He turned instantly. Nothing. Then Liam screamed. Long bloody scratches appeared across his arm. No one had touched him. Yet fresh blood dripped onto the stone floor. The walls began vibrating. Portraits hanging upstairs crashed one after another. Heavy footsteps thundered across empty rooms. Children laughed. A man screamed. Glass shattered. Someone cried for mercy. Every sound happened at once. Ryan covered his ears. It made no difference. The voices weren't entering through sound. They were inside his head. Suddenly. Everything stopped. Absolute silence. The basement door slowly opened. Moonlight reached the stairs. Ryan and Liam sprinted outside without looking back. The street stood empty beneath thick fog. Their car waited exactly where they had parked it. Ryan laughed nervously. "We made it." Liam didn't answer. He stared toward the house. Every upstairs window now contained people. Men. Women. Children. Standing perfectly still. Watching. Hundreds of faces. None had been there before. Ryan turned. The windows were empty again. They drove away. Neither spoke. When Ryan reviewed the footage days later, he expected glitches. Instead, he found something worse. Every room appeared normal. No ghost. No voices. No singing. Nothing supernatural. Except, whenever Ryan walked through a hallway, a shadow followed exactly 3 steps behind him. It appeared in every recording. Even outdoors. Even after leaving Dublin. Weeks passed. Ryan couldn't sleep. Each night at exactly 2:07 a.m., someone knocked 3 times on his bedroom door. He lived alone. Every morning, muddy footprints stretched from the front door to his bedroom. Then disappeared. One night he finally looked through the peephole. The hallway was empty. But when he opened the door, a tiny wooden doll without a head rested on the floor. The same doll carried by the little girl in the basement. Liam refused to speak about Henrietta Street ever again. 6 months later he disappeared while filming another abandoned building. Police found his camera. The final recording lasted only 18 seconds. The footage showed Liam standing in an empty corridor. Behind him, a woman with long black hair slowly raised one finger, pointing toward the darkness. Exactly as she had inside Henrietta Street. Then the recording ended. Liam was never found. Ryan uploaded his documentary anyway. Millions watched it. Thousands claimed they heard whispers hidden beneath the background audio. Some viewers slowed the footage frame by frame. In one upstairs window, a pale face appeared. Not for 1 second. Not for half a second. For exactly 1 frame. When enhanced, the face wasn't Victorian. It wasn't ancient. It was Ryan himself. Older. Dead-eyed. Standing inside the house. Looking out. To this day, visitors continue to report strange experiences on Henrietta Street. Some hear footsteps in empty rooms. Some smell smoke where no fire burns. Others feel someone silently walking behind them. Most leave without incident. A few return home with nightmares that never end. And according to an old Dublin legend, if you ever hear 3 slow knocks on a bedroom door after 2 in the morning, never answer. Because the house may finally have found someone to take the place of those who never left.